most powerful thing Marcus ever said to his boss was nothing. He just slid a letter across the desk, stood up, and walked out. He wasn't brave. He wasn't reckless. He had just finally hit a number that made that moment possible. 3 years before that letter, Marcus was sitting in a repair shop watching his entire month fall apart. $1,400. Marcus read it once, twice, 3 times, like maybe the number would change if he stared long enough. He opened his banking app, closed it, opened it again. He wasn't doing math. He was doing damage control. 2 chairs away sat a man named Jace. Same company, same salary, same $90,000 every Friday. Jace got his estimate, tapped his card, went back to scrolling. Marcus watched Jace walk out and felt something crack open inside his chest. Not jealousy, something quieter, something more dangerous. He realized he had been asking the wrong question his entire life. Income is just water flowing through your hands. Net worth is what's left in the bucket after it flows through. The bucket has 3 lines painted on the inside, 3 levels. Cross them, and the water starts behaving differently. Charlie Munger once said, "The first 100,000 is a beast. You have to do it. I don't care what you have to do. Find a way. After that, you can ease off the gas." Getting from 0 to your first $100,000 takes roughly 8 years. Every dollar in that account is a dollar you personally earned, saved, and refused to spend. It feels slow because it is slow. Almost every dollar is you, your discipline, your sacrifice, your refusal to quit. Going from $100,000 to $200,000 doesn't take another 8 years. It takes 5. From $200,000 to $300,000 under 4 years. Going from $500,000 to a full million takes about the same time it took you to scrape together that first $100,000. Except now your money is generating 10 times the wealth in that same window. Somewhere in that journey, quietly, without announcement, your money clocked in for its first day of work. At $100,000 invested at 7%, your portfolio throws off $7,000 a year on its own, earned while you sleep, while you do absolutely nothing. Researchers walked into a New Jersey mall. They stopped ordinary shoppers, asked them to imagine a car repair. The lower-income shoppers who imagined the $1,500 repair scored dramatically worse on every cognitive test, a full standard deviation lower. The researchers called it comparable to losing a full night of sleep, except it never ends. Some part of your mind is always running the calculation. Nearly 30% of American adults couldn't handle a surprise $500 expense using savings. That's not a discipline problem. That's a cushion problem. $100,000 buys you out of that, not into a yacht, into quiet, into a brain that isn't humming with financial static every single hour. Level 1 isn't about getting rich. It's about getting your mind back. That's what $100,000 actually buys you. Be real with yourself. Are you below this line, sitting on it, or past it? Hold that answer. It changes everything that comes next. You don't reach level 1 overnight. You get there one boring, unglamorous, automated contribution at a time. Almost everyone who quits right there, right before it changes. You don't have to get smarter. You just have to get stubborn. Once the snowball crests the hill, it rolls on its own. The math stops working against you and starts working for you. Level 1 bought back your quiet mind. But level 2 buys back something even more dangerous to lose. This is what that letter really was. Not a resignation, a receipt, proof that the number had finally been reached. He wasn't walking away from something. He was walking toward everything the number had made possible. Pick your level, not the fantasy one. The next one, the one that's actually within reach from exactly where you're standing today. Imagine going through every decision, every conversation, every moment that matters, permanently a little sleep deprived, not tired, just taxed. Same people, same brains. The only thing that changed was 30 seconds of worrying about money they didn't have. Marcus watched Jace walk out and felt something crack open inside his chest. He had been asking the wrong question his entire life. Not how do I earn more, but why does the same paycheck feel completely different depending on who's holding it? The answer to that question eventually led Marcus to that office, to that letter, to that silence. And it starts with one number almost nobody can name. Getting from zero to your first $100,000 takes roughly 8 years. Every dollar in that account is a dollar you personally earned, saved, and refused to spend. Level 1 didn't add a luxury to your life. It subtracted a fear, the fear of the emergency, and with it, the noise. Level 1 isn't about getting rich. It's about getting your mind back. That's what $100,000 actually buys you. What comes next is where the meeting changes, where the boss says something unreasonable, and for the first time, you realize calmly you could walk. Pick your level, not the fantasy one. The next one, the one that's actually within reach from exactly where you're standing today. Now you enter the strangest, most psychologically interesting stretch of the whole journey, the climb from $500,000 to $1 million. For the first time, the most productive worker in your household might not be a person. At $500,000 invested, a 7% return generates around $35,000 a year. Sit with that. $35,000 appearing annually, produced by nothing but money you already had. That's roughly what the typical American earns from a full-time job. Your portfolio is now pulling in a respectable second income, and it doesn't call in sick, doesn't ask for a raise, and doesn't hate Mondays. This is a level where the phrase work optional stops being a fantasy you see in some guru's ad and starts being a thing you can actually see on the horizon. Here's how level 2 feels in real life. It's the meeting where your boss says something genuinely unreasonable, and instead of swallowing it, you realize calmly, almost surprised by yourself, that you could walk. You won't today, but you could. That single internal shift, knowing you have a real choice, quietly rewires how you negotiate, what you tolerate, and how much of your self-respect you're willing to trade for a paycheck. It also shows up in smaller, almost invisible ways. It's not checking the price of every item before it goes in the cart. It's booking the direct flight instead of the one with 2 layovers to save $60. It's the dishwasher dying and the entire crisis lasting about 4 minutes. You Google replacement, you buy it, it's over. The strange thing is, most people here don't even notice it happened. Like they just slowly stop bracing for impact. About 21% of US households are millionaires. So if you cross $1 million, you're not doing okay. You're in the top 5th of the entire country. The problem is it rarely feels that way. And there's a reason for that. The trap is called lifestyle inflation, and it is a silent assassin of this entire stage. Researchers have a name for this: the hedonic treadmill. You get the raise, you get the nicer car, and within about a year, the nicer car just feels like your car. The thrill evaporates, but the payment stays. This is how people pulling $300,000 a year still end up broke. Their money never gets a chance to take that second job, because every dollar gets drafted into a bigger mortgage, a leased Range Rover, and a lifestyle that quietly eats the future to feed the present. Level 2 isn't really about earning more. It's about having the nerve to let the gap between what you make and what you spend stay open long enough for compounding to walk through it. Level 1 subtracted the fear of the emergency. Level 2 subtracts another one, the fear of being trapped by a single employer. At a full $1 million, that same 7% throws off about $70,000 a year. That's more than the typical American individual earns in a year. Your money out-earns a full-time salary, and it does it while you sleep, while you're on vacation, while you're doing literally anything else. The line for the top 10% of all American households by net worth now sits closer to $2.4 million. So if you cross $1 million, you're not doing okay. You're in the top 5th of the entire country. Level 2 isn't really about earning more. It's about having the nerve to let the gap stay open. Notice the pattern forming. Level 1 didn't add a luxury. It subtracted a fear. Level 2 subtracts another one. Each level you climb isn't about adding stuff to your life. It's about removing fears from it. You're not there yet, but you can see it. And seeing it changes how you carry yourself. Your portfolio is now pulling in a respectable second income. It doesn't call in sick. It doesn't ask for a raise. It doesn't hate Mondays. It's the meeting where your boss says something genuinely unreasonable, and instead of swallowing it, you realize calmly, almost surprised by yourself, that you could walk. None of these are luxuries. They're just friction being quietly removed from your week, one decision at a time. Every dollar gets drafted into a bigger mortgage, a leased Range Rover, and a lifestyle that quietly eats the future to feed the present. Same effort, same patience, wildly different output. Because somewhere in that journey, your money quietly clocked in for its first day of work. Level 2 subtracts the fear of being trapped by a single employer. Each level you climb isn't about adding stuff. It's about removing fears. It's about having the nerve to let the gap between what you make and what you spend stay open long enough for compounding to walk through it. Keep that in mind, because level 3 removes the biggest fear of all, and it's the one almost nobody's prepared for. The thrill evaporates, but the payment stays. So you upgrade again, chasing a high that keeps resetting to zero. Every dollar gets drafted into a bigger mortgage, a leased Range Rover, and a lifestyle that quietly eats the future to feed the present. You won't today, but you could. That single internal shift, knowing you have a real choice, quietly rewires how you negotiate. At a full million, that same 7% throws off about $70,000 a year. That's more than the typical American earns. Each level you climb isn't about adding stuff to your life. It's about removing fears from it. Keep that in mind, because level 3 removes the biggest fear of all. At a full million, your money out-earns a full-time salary, and it does it while you sleep, while you're on vacation, while you're doing literally anything else. You're not there yet, but you can see it, and seeing it changes how you carry yourself. Going from $500,000 to a full million takes about the same time it took you to scrape together that very first $100,000. Except now your money is generating 10 times the wealth. You're not there yet, but you can see it, and seeing it changes how you carry yourself. Level 3 removes the biggest fear of all, and it's the one almost nobody is prepared for. Level 3, $2.5 to $5 million. Buying back your time. There's a scene in a movie called The Gambler where John Goodman lays out his entire philosophy of money. The goal isn't to be rich. The goal is to hit a specific number, put it somewhere safe, and reach what he calls full money. A position where no person, no boss, no bank can make you do anything you don't want to do. It's called the 4% rule, and it comes from a study where researchers tested decades of market history to answer one question. How much can you pull out of a portfolio every year without ever running out of money? Whatever you spend in a year, multiply it by 25. That's your number. The point where your investments can fund your life basically forever. If your life costs $40,000 a year, your number is $1 million. If you spend $80,000, it's $2 million. And if you want to live on $100,000 a year without ever working another day, you need about $2.5 million. Look familiar? That's Goodman's number. The screenwriter did the math. Push it to $5 million, and you can support a $175,000 to $200,000 lifestyle off the returns alone. You're now in the top 4% of all U.S. households. This is the level I see people get most wrong, because the math finally works, and they assume the meaning will show up automatically. It doesn't. Plenty of folks reach it and are still miserable. And the research finally explains why. For years, the famous study everyone quoted said happiness flatlines once you hit about $100,000 a year. Past that point, more money just stops moving the needle. Then a researcher named Matthew Killingsworth came along, tracked over 1 million real-time mood reports from 1,000 people, and found that wasn't true at all. Happiness kept rising right along with income with no ceiling in sight. The two camps actually got in a room together and worked it out. For most people, the roughly 80% who are already reasonably content, more money really does keep buying more happiness all the way up. But for the unhappy 20%, money relieves their suffering up to about $100,000 a year. And then it just stops, because their unhappiness was never really about money in the first place. No amount of net worth can buy your way out of a problem that money didn't cause. The people who get here and finally feel different are the ones who use a number to buy the only thing money can actually purchase that matters: control over their own time, waking up without an alarm, saying yes to the people you love, and no to the work you hate. Being there for the things you used to miss. Saying yes to the people you love, and no to the work you hate. Being there for the things you used to miss. Level 3 buys back your one finite, non-renewable resource, the actual hours of your life, from anyone who used to own them. Level 1 bought back a quiet mind. Level 2 bought back options. Level 3 buys back your time. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, Marcus, I'm not even at level 1 yet. This is depressing. Stop. I need you to hear this clearly. The fact that these levels are rare isn't a reason to feel behind. It's the entire reason they're worth chasing. The bar to feel genuinely different isn't infinite wealth. It's a cushion, then a choice, then your time back. That's it. The most encouraging part is the part we started with. The hardest, slowest, most thankless stretch of this whole journey is the climb to that first 100 grand. The part where it's all you and the market is barely helping. Almost everyone who quits right there in the slog, right before the snowball crests the hill. If you could just outlast the boring part, the math stops working against you and starts working for you. You don't have to get smarter. You just have to get stubborn. You get there one boring, unglamorous, automated contribution at a time. We've been trained to measure ourselves by income, the number on the paycheck. But income is just the speed of the water. Net worth is the size of the bucket. Jace and Logan are two guys with identical $90,000 salaries and completely different lives. The only thing that ever separated them was which line in the bucket they'd quietly cross. Jace wasn't richer on payday. He was just further along the number line. That's it. That's the whole difference. 10 years from now, that money is either going to be quietly working for you the way it works for Jace, or you're going to be working around the lack of the way Logan does. I know which version of that parking lot moment I'd rather be living. I'm not a financial advisor, and none of this is financial advice. It's just patterns I've watched play out with real numbers attached. Take what's useful and leave the rest. If this changed how you think about the number in your account, do me a favor and drop a comment telling me which level you're climbing toward right now. I actually read them. If you want the other half of this picture, the exact moves that get you across that first line fastest, I made a full video on it, and it's right there on the screen. That's the whole game. That is what's really on the other side of that number. Pick your level, not the fantasy one. The next one, the one that's actually within reach from exactly where you're standing today. Because 10 years from now, that money is either going to be quietly working for you, or you're going to be working around the lack of it. I know which version I'd rather be living.